Hey guys, so I know I have not been on here in a cool minute, but I was just super busy with work and trying to work as much as I could before I left for Africa. And I've been gone for the past 3 weeks, so I just wanted to just come say hey and to just bring you guys along with the journey that I go on when I come back from a missions trip because I feel like people think when you come back from a missions trip, you're just tired because you're jet lagged, but it's so much more than that. Like, you're emotionally tired, you're physically tired, you're spiritually tired. Like, there's just so much that is drained from you on a missions trip. Like, we get so full. Like, as much as we get full off of doing the work, it's also tiring because you're not sleeping. Like, by the time you get to your hotel, like, we have great places to stay. Like, I am very grateful for the way that Ruro does their missions trips. Like, we always have a comfortable place to stay, but we have very little sleep. So jet lag, yeah, that's half the problem. But today I had to check myself because I was laying on the couch like, Vaughn, you need to get some work done. But I checked myself, or the Lord checked me, something checked me in my spirit and was like, yo, you're not just tired because of jet lag. You are tired because you were sleeping about 5 hours a night. Like, we had very late nights and very early mornings, and this wind is coming through the chimney like nobody's business through this fireplace. Gee whiz. Um, but yeah, like, there's just so much because you are there for the mission. You're there to spread love. You're there to do whatever it is. You're lifting heavy things. We had heavy things to move. Granted, the guys did most of the heavy lifting, but women, like, we're not just there like, oh, the guys are gonna move everything. No, like, we're there on the mission, so we're moving stuff. We're up. We're moving early in the morning every morning after preparing the night before for whatever we have to do the next day, especially when you're on a short-term mission trip. When you're on a long-term mission trip, it's a little, you get to be settled a little more and you have a little more time to get acclimated. But when you're on a short-term mission trip, you only have so much time to get so many things done. And so we had 3 parties, 5,000 children, and we did the celebration for the 300 women for Ruro. So every day we were doing something. Like, on our day off, I did nothing. Like, they went to like a cultural like dance night thingy, and it looked great, but they were like, be ready by 4. And I was like, I don't want to be ready by 4. I still want to be sitting in my pajamas at 4. So yeah, when you go on a mission trip, like, it's a lot more than just the jet lag you have to get used to when coming back home. You have to get used to being around people again. Like, when you're on a mission trip, you're around a bunch of folks that love Jesus and want to do work for the Lord. When you come back home and got to go to work with everybody, you got to get used to being around everybody again. One of my girlfriends said that she didn't answer any texts for like 2 days because they got back earlier than I did, and I was like, that's great. Don't, like, I don't answer texts, I don't answer phone calls, I don't answer FaceTime because I have to get my mind right. Like, and my only child syndrome kicks in round about week 2. I was like, ooh, Lord, I've been around folks for a long time. Folks I love. It's been a long time. And when you are an only child, like, granted, I have siblings, but I grew up in a house by myself. I have never had to share my space. I have never had to be around a lot of people for a long period of time. So when we were in Kenya, the mall was right next door and everybody was shopping, and I went off by myself and walked around the mall by myself for a little bit because I was like, I just need a little minute. I just need a little minute to be by myself. But yeah, when you get back from a mission trip, y'all, like, get, like, people who don't go on trips, like, give your people who do go on trips a little bit of grace when we get back. A little bit of grace to not answer a text or a phone call, and a little bit of grace to just be tired and to just want to sleep. Because it's not just the jet lag. It's literally like some nights we would get in our rooms late. Maybe like even when we got in our rooms at like 9 or 10 o'clock, just settling down from the day getting yourself together. We're in different hotels, like you're traveling around. When we were in Uganda, we're in a hotel for like a long period of time, but after that, we were just kind of like 2 nights at this place, 2 nights at that place, one night back here. So you're never really settled. And so I had to remember, like, Vaughn, you have to get your body back to just being settled and in one place. You have to get your body back. Cause like my stomach does not do well when I travel. I cannot eat very well all the time. And I'm not very hungry when I travel because usually it's, the time with the time difference, um, they're 11 hours ahead there. It's night, like I'm not hungry. I wouldn't be eating. It's weird. And so, as much as I want to chow down when I'm over there, sometimes I just can't. And so, I can't eat very early in the morning. And usually, breakfast was like 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I'd have like little, nibbles of things. It's just a whole thing. Just trying to get your body back together, trying to get your stomach back together, trying to get your skin back together, trying to get your mind back together. So, I am just going to bring you guys on this journey of me going from missionary to pilot season ready. So the first thing I do, well, Alexis, armpits. So the first thing I do when I get back is I take my locks out, and it's been out for days. I just haven't washed my hair. I just have it in a ponytail. But I take my locks out and I do a henna treatment. So I have videos on how I do this in the process. So you can check out my YouTube for that. So I do this to treat my hair, like a deep condition treatment. It makes my hair really silky and shiny. And even once I color it after I do this, you can still see like the shininess through. Alright, y'all. I put some gloves on. It's cold. Like, I guess the heat is not on. I don't know. It's cold in this house right now. So it's like drying really quickly on my head. Normally it's a little more like gooey. But I'm going to put a plastic cap on so that it can heat back up. I was like, why are these drying so quick? My hair was drying quickly because it's cold in here. So it says you can sleep in this overnight, but it got all over my sheets and my last time I did that, so I don't do that anymore. I just leave it on for a couple of hours. Let it sit, make dinner, which I'm gonna do now, and by the time I finish dinner, I'll be ready to put my color on and then continue with my process. Hey guys, so as you can see, my henna is out. My hair has like a little reddish tint and it's nice and shiny and it's soft. When I rinse the henna out, I can literally comb through my hair like I put conditioner in it, which is cray cray. Because under normal circumstances, if I just shampoo it and try to comb it through with nothing, yeah, that's not a thing. So now I'm going to put on my color, and I use 2 packs of this. I got it from my Indian store when I got my oil, where I get my henna from too, but the henna actually lasts a long time. I used it multiple times. It's the same gloves I use for my henna. I end up putting gloves on because henna does stain, because it is the same henna that they use for the markings and the decorations on their hands. I don't know what the actual term is, but you know what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going to put my Heather Lindsay sermon back on where she is banging me upside my head while I finish my color or start my color.